All right, so we're talking, and you got something that came up. What were you going to say on that, Frankie?
Well, we were on Breakfast Club and we were
Yeah.
talking to Kevin Gillespie about call reluctance. He's so cool. He does so many cool things. He does the builder boot camps and call reluctance boot
Oh, for
camps, and he's
sure.
got a free webinar that's popping up on call reluctance. And when he was going through his slides, this came up, this alter ego thing,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Like
wasn't sure what.
Beyonce's got Sasha or whatever it is. Like everybody,
Yeah,
yeah, kind of they go on and they turn into just a beast
something
mode.
else, right?
Yeah,
And then I
yeah,
was like, and I was so I guess what he was saying is, and I'm not that familiar with this because I wanted to ask him about it, but we didn't
yeah,
have time because there was,
yeah.
so many things were happening on Breakfast Club. But do you know what he means by that? Like, what is he talking about? So when it comes to call reluctance, one of the things he teaches is like how to create an alter ego and kind of be able to mentally step into this alter ego when you're making your calls to make
I
the
think
call
it's a
reluctance.
mindset, Frank. It's kind of like when Michael Jordan walks on to the floor to play basketball, or a great baseball player walks onto the field to play. There has been so much preparation that there's a shifting into, I'd almost say like beast mode, where you realize, okay, I'm making my outbound calls from 9 to 11. So I'm going to walk in and I'm going to put all of the things to the side and I'm going to shift gears because I know it's time to play ball at a high level.
Yeah.
And I think it's about shifting that mindset to where it's like, all right, we came to work. You ever worked out and it's like you can shift mentally where you walk in, it's like, all right, whatever it takes, I'm in.
Mm. So you think that's what it is, huh? That
I do, man. I think there's a switch that has to flip on the inside of you. And I think that you
well,
see
he was
people.
yeah. Kevin was saying that Elon Musk hired whoever it is that played Iron Man, whoever
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, hired him to come in to teach him how to be
Shift.
Iron Man, right?
Yeah, yeah. Shift
And
gears.
and for some reason, Musk felt that that was something that he wanted to somehow apply to,
Yeah,
his like you said, his mindset, right?
that's it. Yeah.
And others have done similar things, and I just had never heard it said that way. To
Yeah, and Frank, I think it's you have to, like, there's a difference in showing up and there's showing up ready to play.
hmm,
And mentally, it's learning how to shift gears and say, it's game on. And regardless of how I feel, I'm walking into the greatest championship I'm going to play, and learning how to do that repetitively in each and every day. And you just walk in. I think about when so there's a morning routine. It's this group called Iron Tribe. And what's interesting, man, it's 25 minutes, and usually it's 24 minutes. And I kind of liken it to this, where we get up 5 a.m., you meet, 4:30, I'm driving, but when I walk in, bro, everything shifts, because here's what I know. All I've got to do is play my best for 24 minutes. And that is whatever the workout is, whatever the run is, whatever the weights are, whatever, how hard it is, it doesn't matter. There's got to be a shifting when I walk in, so that it's like I'm here to play. And I think that that's what the alter ego is like when an artist walks on stage. They may be a little bit more introverted off stage, but they walk in and now I'm playing a big character. And so in their mind, they're flipping the switch, and it's like,
hmm,
I am just a killer prospector. Like I think about on making the calls, it's like,
yeah,
I love people. I know how to have great phone calls. I've got my scripts down and I'm going to have my 20 conversations today.
mm,
It's a flipping of the switch.
mm,
And I think that there's a learning to that. It's like showing up, and you learn how to flip the switch of it's time to work.
mm. I guess that's what it is. You're right. It's like
It's a
it's
mindset,
it's a mindset. It's stepping into the okay, I'm going to make my calls, and it's kind of a quick rewiring of your mind where it's like, I am a great prospector. I
yes.
do enjoy making these calls.
Yes, I
I'm
love
not
people.
flustered by
Yes.
negativity. I
They want to hear from me. They
they
need
want
to
to
hear
hear
from
from
me.
me.
They've got to
Yeah.
have a great loan officer to close and make great money. And I'm
Yeah.
the solution to the challenge they're having. And
Yeah.
it's an internal flipping of the switch. And listen, it takes practice. And I think, anybody who says, oh, one day when I'm not afraid, I'll make calls. One day when I'm not afraid, I'll prospect.
Mm,
Well, good luck. One day will never come. The great people take action afraid, and the more action you take, the more confident you become, and the more confident you become, success is a habit,
mm,
and it doesn't start out easy. It starts out a little bit painful, a little bit
mm,
afraid, a little bit uncertain.
mm,
It's like a little bit unclear. You just
mm,
step.
mm.
And we think it's this glorious yellow brick road.
Yeah.
Just follow that yellow brick. Now,
Yeah.
the good news is in mortgage marketing animals, so much of the steps are already uncovered, but it is never a step without fear, a step without anxiety. It's you feel it, you step, and the more you step, the quieter the noise gets as you begin to get more powerful in your prospecting efforts. Hey there, if you're loving the tips so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss out on more cool free tips coming your way. I'd also love to hear from you. Make sure to drop a comment below and let me know what you think, or what it is you want to see next. And we'll see you on the inside. See you.
Yeah. One of the people that kind of got highlighted today was Marty Guy Fink.
Oh, yeah. Love Marty.
She's awesome on Breakfast Club and within the
Hmm.
animals world and all that, and just in general. And in the chat, the people that she's mentoring are just gush over her and her, and for good reason, right?
Right.
And a year ago she was at zero, like January, February of 2024, she had
Yeah.
no loans. Now
Yeah.
she had a really hot month a couple months ago of like 17 closings. She's steady
Yeah.
Eddie 8 deals a month right now. She attributes, a lot of this success to Kevin's coach, the call reluctance class, the boot camps, your boot camp, the
Yeah.
MMA,
Yeah.
all that. But when Carl asked what the biggest why people are so reluctant, and people were throwing it in the chat and all that thing, and you know what Marty Guy's reason was? It was, I'm not worthy.
Mm.
So it was, I'm not worthy. That was
Yeah.
her biggest reason to have call reluctance. She felt in herself,
Yeah.
I'm just not worthy of this person being interested in me or
Mhm.
wanting to do business with me, whoever I'm calling. If I don't feel worthy, then that now the alter ego is making
Yeah.
more sense now, because now we have to go into it saying, yeah, hell yeah, I'm worthy. I'm absolutely worthy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I am way worthy
Yeah.
of having a relationship with this top producer,
Oh, for sure.
right? And so, she had to. I'm imagining that was her alter ego, you know, that she would have to flip on. I am worthy of it,
Yeah,
and you
and Frank,
are. Why not?
I think you gotta, it goes back to, and we've talked about Jim's book a whole lot, the Unstuck and Unstoppable. We'll drop that in the show notes. But, I think what happens is you also have to go back and identify the limiting beliefs.
Mm,
When you begin to realize here's where I'm struggling, you know what I would challenge everybody to do? When was the first time you felt that way? And then as you go back and you begin to address, man, I remember this and I remember this, things will surface that'll help you walk through the limiting beliefs that, Frank, they're just embedded so deep in us. Like one of the things I've said for years on the podcast, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. And, where that really came from is I'll never forget, I was working with my dad back in the restaurant, and I think I was 13, 14 years old. And I remember walking back in the kitchen, helping him prep seafood. We were peeling shrimp and cutting catfish and all that. And I just got to farting around, and being a 13-year-old kid, and I'm probably throwing shrimp and just acting like a fool. And my dad got upset and he said, son, anything, I mean, if you're going to do something, son, you better do it
badly.
right.
Oh, do it right. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody,
Gotcha.
that's what
Yeah.
everybody said.
Yeah.
Well,
If you're gonna
son,
do
if you're
something, do
gonna
it
do it,
right.
you do it
Yeah.
right, son. And he was mad and he was frustrated because we were farting around. Well, I didn't realize as a kid what that planted deep in my heart, and I didn't even know this, was the fear of if I didn't do it right, I better not do it. So
Hmm.
it created this fear and this paralysis. And what was interesting is as you're prospecting, part of it is, hey, I gotta, like you're saying, create an alter ego where I'm gonna pump myself up and I'm gonna push, push, push. And I think you do that. while you go back to the root. Because you know what I did? I began to ask myself, why do I have such a hard time getting started? Like, I prep, I prep, I prep, I prep, but very seldom do I fire.
Mm,
And what I realized was, oh my gosh, I remember what dad said when I was a kid. And that created this fear of perfection. Like, if I didn't do it right, why would I even do it? So I got to
mm,
prep, 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 prep. And so my whole point to that is, whether it's prospecting, whether it's taking action, whether it's making the phone calls or meeting people, going out of your comfort zone, I think you've got to take action. And while you're convincing yourself to take action, you got to go back to the root at some point and identify, hey, that was a limiting belief. And I'm going to shift that limiting belief to what, the reality is this: anything we're doing is going to be done badly. You
yeah.
just got to get started. You just got to
Mm,
make the call. You got to have the conversation. You got to have the appointment. You got to show up. You got to get tired and realize, dude, that sucked. That wasn't very good, but I'm going to do it again tomorrow. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm. Yeah,
So,
good stuff.
all right, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's any thoughts on that? Final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. It's just again, the whole thing was he mentioned alter ego a couple
Yeah.
times, and he brought up some examples of
Yep.
alter ego, and I just had never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I'd never thought of, wow, I have to establish for myself an alter ego, and I have to be able to step into that alter
Yeah.
ego to to be able to do the calls and do them effectively and to overcome the reluctance. So I thought
Interesting
it
for
was cool
sure, man.
stuff. Yeah,
Hey,
neat
well,
stuff.
listen, if you want to know more, I know Kevin's got a call reluctance boot camp. We've got an 8-week boot camp. We've got the membership. Go to freedomplanningcall.com. That jump on a call. You'll put in your first name, last name, email, cell phone, how many loans a month you're doing. And once you do that, it'll go straight to the team's calendar. Pick a time, get on the calendar. We'll walk you through how to join at multiple levels.
Mm.
The membership for mortgage marketing animals, freedomplanningcall.com. Remember this: anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See you.
Adios.